Hi, everyone. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and I want to welcome you here today to my live either on Facebook if you're watching me there, or on my YouTube channel. So I want to thank you for being here and spending time with me today. I've got some Stampin' Up! Updates to go over and some inspiration to share. So I hope you enjoy. So grab your favorite drink and let's get creative. All right. Today is it's not Thursday. That's my normal day. It is Wednesday, July 8th, 2026. And I'm usually on Thursdays, but I had to reschedule. I have an appointment tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure I got on here and did a video before I missed y'all this week. All right. So let me see. We've got lots of things to go over today. We've got lots of news going on with Stampin' Up! And if you're watching me on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, be sure you click that subscribe button and the like button, and also click that little bell so that you'll be notified when I'm live. And if you're watching me on Facebook, I would love to have you to share the video and like it. And also, if you'd be a follower of me on both platforms, I'd really appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and click that button off so we can make some room here to show what we're doing today. And be sure you comment when you come on, say hello. And let's get started with our housekeeping notes. First off, we've got, I don't know where to start here. I've got so many things going on. Let's start with Paper Pumpkin. This is the July Paper Pumpkin kit. It is called Hooray for Birthdays. And you got until July 10th to subscribe to this Paper Pumpkin kit. It says, say happy birthday with stand-up easel cards, perfect for showing off. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, holographic foil accents, pre-cut paper pieces, and printed stickers. And the Stampin' Spot that you'll get with this is going to be the Timid Tiger. And with this kit, it's got a 2-step flower stamp set that lets you build multicolored blooms. So that's kind of a little something extra we haven't had before on our Paper Pumpkin kits. And also these are going to be like a stand-up kind of cards. So that's also something new that I hadn't seen yet. You've got until July 10th to sign up for this Paper Pumpkin kit. And also, let me show you the dies that go along with this would be the detailed Flora add-on dies. And these are item number 168664, and the cost is $13. And these coordinate with the July, August, and September Paper Pumpkin kits. And you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to get these. So you could sign up for the July Paper Pumpkin kit and receive this. But also, we've got a special that's coming up starting, when was that? Let me get back to that flyer. Starts July. Let's see. I've got my notes here. Give me a moment to shuffle through paperwork. Guess I didn't have these in order like I should have. I think it starts July 11th through August 10th. And what this is, you get 25% off your first Paper Pumpkin kit if you're not a subscriber already. And it's a sign up for a pay-as-you-go subscription by August 10th and save on your next all-inclusive crafting kit. And that will be the August Paper Pumpkin kit, which is called Kindred Greetings Kit. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, and I'll be putting up my banner for the Paper Pumpkin kit, and it's also in the description of the video, so you can go down to that and look. And I think it's, no, that's the wrong one. This is the one that would be for the Kindred Greetings. This is the August kit. It says textured card bases and envelopes, and it looks very pretty. All right. And like I said, reach out to me if you have any questions. I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have. All right, so let's get those out of the way. And we're going to go on to our product of the month for July. Is called Begonia Bell Stamp Set. And it says sentiments to share joy, love, and happy wishes. This is a two-step stamping technique, so very pretty. The sentiments in there say, best wishes, you are my sunshine. Thank you for everything you do. Sending lots of happiness your way. And begonias are very pretty. So this is called Begonia Bell. And what this is, when your order reaches $75 before shipping and tax, you can add this onto your order for only $5. And these are available while supplies last. And we did run out of our product of the month last month with the Wild Bunch, so you might want to get your order in sooner than later. And very pretty. I'm waiting for mine to come. I think it's going to be here tomorrow, so I'm anxious to get started with that, make some samples. And then next, we've still got the product of the month from May that's still available, and we're going to be using this paper today. It's the Berry Botanical Vellum Designer Series paper, well, specialty paper. And it says custom designs with polka dots, plaids, and berries. And it's very pretty. We're going to be using that today. And same with that one. With your order of $75, you can add that on for only $5. So if you haven't gotten it already. All right. And then our next thing to talk about is our new welcome box. It says get yours when you join Stampin' Up. And let me see if I can kind of go over this kind of simply and explain it. It's something new that Stampin' Up has started. Let me see. Okay. Instead of building your starter kit, this is how it's going to work. You pay $100 to join. That's a one-time fee to start your demonstrator account. And you get a $125 product coupon to spend on anything you want. Plus, you'll get 8 current Stampin' Up catalogs to share, and a handwritten welcome letter from Sarah, and a Stampin' Up branded swag. Contains a pin, pop-up pencil case, pop-up wastebasket. And let me see. So you'll also get a kit to create 8 hello cards. And it says choose a team leader, and please choose me. My website is in the description. Accept the required agreements, enter a few personal details, and you pay the $100. And then click submit. All right, like you said, you receive that coupon afterwards for $125. And then when you put in your order, that'll be deducted off of what your order is. You can go over it. It doesn't matter. You just pay the difference. And your benefits for being a demonstrator are you'll get 20 to 25% discount on all future orders. You have early access to new products and pre-order periods. No obligation to sell. You can do it as a hobbyist. And access to training, events, and online resources. So your quarterly minimum is $300. That's for 3 months period. And you can have your friends and family help you out with that if you don't want to do all the ordering. Okay. All right. So I think that's all I've got to talk about. Oh, no, we don't. We've got more. And I don't think I have that up here. So I'm going to have to turn my camera down. Also starting on July 10th, let me get this off of the screen here. On July 10th, Stampin' Up is opening up to our customers. We had a little bit of a sneak peek of it. It's the new Stampin' hot foil system is coming out. And I thought I had something to show you, but I'm going to have to turn my camera around and show you that way on my desk. So let me get this paperwork out of the way so I can do that. And let me switch my camera view. All right, and here it is, and I got a better picture here. Here it is. So we've got the Stampin' Hot Foil System and Craft Class. So when you order the hot foil system, you get everything with it. Well, you don't get the dies and all that. You get the machine and all the things that you need to make the things. It includes a hot foil platform, one silicone platform station, one Stampin' Hot Foil shim and spacer, one silicone cooling pad, one Stampin' Hot or magnetic pickup tool, and that's right here, and one power cord, one metallic magic craft class. So you're going to get a free class also to go along with this, which is a $30 value that you're not paying for. It's absolutely free with the order. And platform heating surface. It needs to be used with the Stampin' and Cut embossing machine, which is in our online exclusive store. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I just ordered mine this morning, so I've got that coming probably next week. So if it gets here for Thursday's class, which I don't know if it will or not, maybe we can demonstrate it a little bit. And then it's got all the dies and stamp sets that go along with it. We've got a choice here. There's quite a few. And also, it's got foil that goes along with it. There's pink, silver, and gold. So the cost on that is kind of pricey, but it's a very good investment. It's $160 here in America, and then the bundles are all separately. So if you got any questions, reach out to me. And this is also going to be available in my store starting July 10th. So you can check it out better there. All right, so I think that's all the news we've got going on. We can go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start out with this card, You've Been on My Mind. I'm kind of rich this morning, so I'm probably not real prepared, so bear with me. It says, You've been on my mind, and get my instructions out here, out of the way. You've been on my mind, and I've got some embossing layers in there and some other layers, and then keeping you in my thoughts, holding you in my heart, remembering you in my prayers. So let's go ahead and get our supplies out here. We're going to be using the Boutique Blossoms bundle, and I've got my stamps all mixed up here. So here's the bundle of Boutique Blossoms. And I've also going to be using the Prayers and Promises, the sentiment for the inside. And our embossing folder, which is the Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. And also the Stylish Shapes dies. I think that's all I used on this. Well, I've got one more stamp here. Which is where? I'm missing a stamp set. Words of Beauty. Okay. All right. Words of Beauty is our other one, and that's going to be our sentiment on the front. You've been on my mind. And I don't think I put that out here, so I need to grab a block and put that on. Like I said, I'm kind of a last-minute decision this morning doing this, so I'm a little bit behind on getting set up. But I think I've got the majority of it set up. I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so we start out with our card base, which is our thick basic weight, or a thick weight, 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to burnish that fold line. And we're going to go portrait orientation. We'll set that aside. And then we've got our crisp cantaloupe, which is, I've got something on there, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That's going to be our mat. I've got our basic weight is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And I've already embossed that with our embossing folder. I don't know if it's going to pick it up very well. You can kind of see it. There we go. And that's going to go onto that crisp cantaloupe layer. So we're going to go ahead and attach that. So I hope everybody's doing well today. We're still hot here in Arkansas yet. I guess summer is upon us. And we're supposed to go on camping next week, but I think our plans have gotten changed. My husband's truck that we pull our trailer with decided it doesn't want to run. So he's trying to find out what's going on with it. He's been working on it almost a week now, trying to figure out what the deal is with it. So I guess it just wasn't meant to be that we were supposed to go camping. So I was disappointed, but what can you do? We do have another pickup truck, a smaller one, that has pulled the trailer before, but it gives it pretty good workout. So we don't like to pull it with that one. We used to have a boat. We'd pull that with that. And then the big truck we use for our camper. But we don't have the boat no more. So, all right. So here's so far. We've glued those together. And then I have die cut our basic weight using the Stylish Shapes dies. And get those dies out here so I can show you which ones I used. We've got quite an assortment here. We did one small one, which is that one, and then the next size up, and then the next size up from that. So there's 3 different sizes here. Oops. Put this back together. We don't want to lose dies. I did lose one out of here. I haven't found yet, one of the small circles. I need to get underneath my desk and start looking for it before I forget about it. All right, so we've got all 3. We're going to stack those together. And let me get these dies out of the way. So we're not stamping on those or anything. We're just going to stack them on top of each other, layer them. So let's start with the middle one first. And press that down. And then our smaller one will go on top of those 2. And then we're going to place these up on dimensionals. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool here. Grab those off. And I'm going to put one in each corner and then one in the center to help support it so it doesn't sag in the middle. And we can go ahead and attach that to our card. And I'm going to put it at an angle and place it centered in the middle. All right, then we're going to set that aside for a while. Let me show you what that looks like. You can see I've got a little depth underneath there. All right, then next we've got a scrap of white, and we're going to do some stamping. And I'm going to use one of our Newton colors, which is the Crisp Cantaloupe. I'm trying to make a mess here. I'm using our Crisp Cantaloupe to stamp my flowers with. And it's a two-step process here. 2 large flowers. And I'm going to start with the fill-in color first. I just want 2 flowers. Oops, we're not in camera view here. There we go. And then I'm going to do the outline, the detailed. And line those up. And again. I'm a little bit off there, but we're going to be fine. And then I'm going to stamp this little flowers. And I think I'm going to start with the outline. Maybe that's where I'm messing up here. So we're going to do the outline of the small flower. And I need 3 of these. And now we're going to do the fill-in color. Now I need to match these up. Let me see. We've got a crooked one there, so that must be it. Yeah, that works better to do the outline one better first. And then I'm going to do the leaves using our Peaceful Pine. I've got the 3 together, and then I've got the single leaf. So I think I'm going to do those the same way, do the outline first. And I need 2 of this one. And I'll line that up. And you could stamp this off for a lighter green if you wanted to, but I'm thinking it looks fine this way. It'll lighten a little bit after it dries too, so remember that. All right, and then next I've got the single leaf, and I'm going to do 2 of those. And the fill-in. All right, and now we're going to do some die cutting. And to save a little time, I've already done some of that. I just need to cut out the flowers. And I've got 3 leaves there, but we might use that or we might not. All right, and then we want to grab our cut and emboss machine, our mini. And put our plates together. And I'm going to cut this down smaller to fit it through my small machine. So, and snip these off. And grab our dies. Oops. Wrong package. Here we go. flower die. We need the small one. And I think that's all I need for now. And I'm going to fold my die down with some washi tape here as soon as I get it at the right spot. And I don't know if I can fit, I think I can fit these on there too. Cut the small flower and the large flower at the same time. And around and around till I find the right spot. Well, there we go. It's got to be just right to fit. And run that through our machine. And Miss Squeaky here. Oh, that didn't cut through all the way. I guess I had it not in the right spot. For some reason, it moved on me. We'll do that again. And place this back down. We'll cut another flower. We've got 3 little flowers and 2 large ones. All right. Let's try this again. All right, now it's done. And position that again onto the next flower. Plates back together. Oh, that one moved a little bit, but that's fine. It cut out okay. And large flower. All right, now we can start assembling. Bring our card back over here and place our large flowers down here at the bottom right-hand corner. And these 3 little ones will go up here along with a leaf. And 2 small leaves down here. And a larger leaf here in this corner. And I've got an extra. All right, and then I've also die cut out of the crisp cantaloupe cardstock a little leaf flourish here. And that's going to go on the side here. And our sentiment is going to be stamped onto this layer. It's a 1/2 inch by whatever. It's going to be chopped off anyway, so it doesn't matter how long it is. So it's a 1/2 inch wide. And we're going to stamp our sentiment, which says, "You've been on my mind." And I'm going to use just our black Memento ink pad. And Bring that down here so I can see it. I don't have a whole lot of real estate there, so I lucked out. It looks good. We're going to set that aside for a moment, and we're going to start attaching everything down here. So I'm going to just glue my leaves down directly, and then my flowers are going to be put up on dimensionals. So I want to get that centered in the corner. And I'm going to start adding dimensionals to the backs of these. All right, and then to the backs of the larger flowers. But I think I'm going to just place my dimensionals directly onto my card. And maybe one more right there. And we'll place that down. And we're going to do the same with the large flower. One there. Maybe 3 right there in that group. And place my flower. All right, and this is going to be glued directly down to that corner, bottom right-hand corner. Slip that up underneath our flower a little bit. And this one's glued down. We're going to place our small flowers up here. Oops. And all right, let's put our other leaves at the bottom of that flower. Make sure it doesn't hang over the side of your card. You want it to be able to fit in your envelope. And I'm going to turn this card a little bit to angle that a little bit. And then we're going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this leaf flourish. And that's going to slip underneath that flower just a little bit. And we're going to cut this down to size. We're going to cut it at an angle. Both sides going the same direction. And we're going to place that right across there. So you've been on my mind. Let me make sure that's straight. It looks pretty good so far, but we need to add some bling to our cards. So I'm going to be using the 2026 to 2028 in color dots, and I'm going to use the crisp cantaloupe color for the centers of our flowers. Take your pick tool, use the putty end, and I'm going to use the small dots. And I'm going to put one in the center of the small flowers. So 3 of those. All right, so there's the front of our card. Now let's work on the inside. And the inside is going to have the sentiment which says, keeping you in my thoughts, holding you in my heart, and remembering you in my prayers. And this is crooked. I need to straighten that up a little bit. There we go. And our black memento ink. I didn't put another layer inside the card. I'm just going to use the card itself and just stamp our sentiment right in the center. Close that up. No accidents to happen. All right, so here's our first card. You've been on my mind, and it's got different layers. Keeping you in my thoughts, holding you in my heart, remembering you in my prayers. I don't know of anybody that wouldn't like to have that card. I like that. Turned out really good. All right, so let's get on with our next card. We're just going to be using our product of the month. That was for May. The vellum. And we'll get everything out here, and then I'll show you what we're doing. This is a little fun fold. So it opens like this. It's got happy birthday to you. And today is your day on the inside. So a real fun layout. I'm going to start out with our card base itself, which is going to be our strawberry slush. It is 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. So that's our card base. And then next I've got bubble bath, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And that's going to layer onto that strawberry slush layer. And then we've got our flap, which is going to measure 3 1/4 inches by 5 inches, and I've scored it at 1 inch. So we're just going to burnish that fold line with our bone folder. And this is going to sit right on top of here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that with our adhesive. Whoops. Dimensional backings all over the place. So just a little goes a long ways. And I'm going to center that onto that other layer of bubble bath, and trying to keep my edges the same distance. And I think that looks pretty good. I think that is. All right, we're going to say it is. Hope for the best. All right, now we can attach that to our card base. And if you wanted to, you could put this up on dimensionals, but I'm just going to glue it directly down. And of course, I got glue all over the place. And I'm going to hold that and place that down with the even edge going all around 4 sides. Give it a little press. All right, and then next, I'm going to change my sides. On my original, I used this pattern, but I'm going to switch it to this pattern instead. Have a little bit different. So those are going to go on the edges, and I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. I know we're using vellum, so sometimes it shows through, but I think we'll be okay. And scooch that over a bit. Oh, and these measured 1 inch by, let's see, Yeah, 1 inch by 3 7/8 inches. I didn't give the measurement on that. You can also go to my blog later today and get all the dimensions and everything for the cards that I'm doing today. Probably later this afternoon before I get it up and on there. And also you can find me on Pinterest. All right, so here we've got our card so far, but we're not done. I also cut that vellum, which is this. And oops, I didn't cut that straight. Let me snip that edge off. We missed that portion. This measures 3 1/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches. And that's going to go onto our front flap. So we'll go ahead and attach that. And I'm just running a thin line of adhesive. You don't want it real thick because it'll show through the vellum. So keep it light. That's going to go onto that front flap with a little border going around it. I like that. I like the green. What do you think? Which one do you like better? Well, thank you. Lively. Welcome. Hope you enjoy. If you missed anything, you can go back to the beginning when we're done and watch the replay. All right, this is our second card, so you might have missed the first one. All right, so those are cards so far. And then next we're going to do some die cutting. And I'm going to use, I didn't even show what I'm using here, so let me get those out here. I am using the frame violets for the sentiment Happy Birthday. Then we're going to use, we're using the dies from the frame violets for the flowers. And also the scalloped blooms dies. So we're using these dies. Okay, that's the flowers I used. I didn't use them out of here, so scratch that. So this for the sentiment, framed violets. And then I used the scalloped blooms dies for the scalloped ovals, and then plus the flowers and leaves. These are little leaves. It took me a while to figure out what those were for, but it's for making the leaves of the flowers. So let's go ahead and die cut. And we're going to use the same pattern as we have on the sides for our scalloped with the vellum. And also for the white, we're going to use just basic white. So I'm going to grab those out. It's this one and the next size. Yes, so those two. So it would be 1, 2, 3, the fourth and the fifth from the largest, and then also these little ones here. And we're also going to use this to cut the flowers with. I think I've got everything out of there. Let me get started and I can explain more as I go. We're going to bring our mini cut and emboss machine over here again. And we'll die cut our green polka dot vellum using the larger scallop. And I'll run that through. Okay, so there's this larger scalloped circle. And then we're going to die cut our basic white with the smaller one. That matches that, or it's the next size down. Okay. next we're going to cut our flowers. And here we go. So I need two of the fresh freesia, or one of the, let's see, yeah, two fresh freesia, and then one of the bubble bath. So we have 3 flowers total. So we're going to do 2 of the fresh freesia. And then we want 1 of the bubble bath. All right, I need to cut out some leaves. There's our flowers, 3. And then next we want, got 2 pink ones. That's what we need. Now we need 4 pink ones. Do I have another one here? Well, I need to cut some leaves out here, and I didn't know what these were at first until I kind of Googled it and found somebody else had used those for the leaves. So, okay. I didn't know what they were. They're kind of strange looking. Okay. And one more. There we go. Now we're going to die cut the fresh freesia. So it's kind of a strange looking die. So let's scrape these all off for now and grab what I need as I go. Get this out of the way. All right, move our dies so we don't lose them. All right, now we're going to start assembling. All right, and I'm going to add this to the other oval, the vellum oval, with my adhesive. And then we're going to place that up on dimensionals on the back. We can keep it under that white layer so they don't even show. Bring our card back over here and center that onto our front flap. And then next we're going to work on our flowers. So we're going to put a flower, fresh freesia flower up here, and a pink and a fresh freesia at the bottom. And we'll add the leaves to the backs of them. So I'm just going to put a little glue at the very tip of that leaf and just place my flower down on top of it. And again with the other leaf, we'll do the same. And it's going to go up on a dimensional in the back. And I'm going to place that one right about there. And then we're going to do another flower pink one, bubble bath. I'm going to put the purple fresh freesia leaves on that one. So again, just a little dab of glue on each one. Small dots. Oops. All right, we're not grabbing, we're sticking to our table surface. And another dimensional on the back of that. And we're going to place that one next to the fresh freesia. And again, with the other fresh freesia, we'll do the same. We'll use the pink petals, bubble bath. And dimensional. And this one's going to go up in this top upper corner. Whoops, a leaf came off. Put that back on there. Well, he doesn't want to stay. A bit of more glue on him. You slip that up underneath there. Yeah. All right. Oh, I didn't stamp my sentiment. Uh-oh. I may have a problem here. Let me see if I can stamp my sentiment without messing it up. I may have to do another white circle. All right, I jumped the gun here. Got ahead of myself. Let's see how this turns out. Let's get our happy birthday to you. And we're going to stamp that right in the center of that white scallop. That didn't work. We're going to have to cut another scallop. All right, let's pay attention to what we're doing here. This is real live stamping here, so can't make up this stuff. Oops, my plate's wrong here. That's my type plate. All right. All's well here, maybe. All right, stamp first. We're just going to have an extra layer on our card today. Okay, happy birthday to you. Well, what am I doing wrong here? Something's not working out right for me today. Now we got a shadow, but I kind of like that. We're going to leave it as is. And we'll attach that to our other layer. And it's not very straight, though. We're going to straddle that other one, which is fine. Okay, I kind of like that. Doesn't matter. Happy birthday to you. And we're not done yet because we're going to add some rhinestones to the center of that, which are right here. These are our basic rhinestones. We're going to add those to the centers of those flowers to give them some bling. And I'm going to use the larger ones. So now it really looks like a flower. Press those down. And on the inside, we're going to say, today is your birth, or today is your day. Oh, happy birthday to you. And on the inside, today is your day. Right. Okay, so not too bad for messing up. So here's my original. I used the pink squares, but I used the green polka dots on the other one. So I think I like the green better than the pink. What do you think? Do you like the pink or green? Okay, so that's card number 2. Let me pick up a bit here and we'll get on with our next card. Got all these extra little leaves here. We're going to save those for another project later on. Okay, so next we have another card. We're using the framed violets. Let me get all our bits over here. We're going to do some heat embossing with this one and get my instructions off there. It says, I appreciate you. And on the inside, sending love. So, very pretty card. I like this too. I like all my cards today. They turned out pretty good. I'm happy with them. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is our Secret C. And again, we're 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to burnish that fold line. And the items that I'm using for this card are going to be, again, we're using the scalloped dies, the scalloped blooms dies, and also we are using the framed violets dies, and the framed violets, well, the bundle for the framed violets. Okay, so let's get started here. Like I said, we've got our Secret C, 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. And then our next layer is going to be our fresh freesia, and that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. That'll go on the front of our card as our mat. And next, we have another layer of our Secret C, which is 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. And our designer series paper, which comes from, this is called the Violet Dreams designer series paper. And we're using this pattern right here. And that measured 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2, no, 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. That's going to go onto that Secret C mat. So let's go ahead and start attaching these down, and then we'll go on to our next steps. So our fresh freesia first. And we're leaving a border going around that. And then next layer, so we're going to attach these together. Okay. And now that's going to go onto the front of our card in the center. And Make sure I'm opening the right direction so we don't go upside down. Okay, we're good. And we're going to leave an even border going around our 4 sides. So far. And then next we're going to, we die cut our scalloped out already. And I used the same size scallops as I did last time. So that's our secret C, our basic white. And I'm going to attach those together. And then we're going to place the larger one up on dimensionals. We don't stamp on this one first, so we're okay. All right, grab our dimensionals here. I'm going to put 5. I'll put 4 around the edges and then 1 on the center. And we're going to put this on the front of our card. And I'm going to leave it kind of up towards the top. And trying to see which way I want to put this. Maybe right about there. All right, and then I've die cut our flowers out of our fresh freesia. And I may have to cut some more. I don't think I've got enough here. I do. I need to die cut. All right, let's bring our machine back over here. Yeah, we're good on time today, so that's good. All right, and use the die out of here for the flower. Okay, and our leaves. We'll do those next with their next color. And there's 3 of those, and I've got 2 of the flowers here. Okay. So we're save time because we got 2 flowers cutting at the same time, and I've already got 1 cut. So you'll have to swipe this through just 1 time to get those. My stem, I got to grab that back again. And we need the stem. All right, so now we're going to cut our leaves and our stem. There's the stem and 3 leaves. We've got 3 different sizes. I think that's all the cutting I got to do. Maybe. All right, get our pokey tool here and pop these out. Hope everybody's had a good week this week. We're hump day today. We're halfway through it. All right, so we've got 3 flowers. And we've got the stem for the flower. And I've got 3 leaves. One. Okay, I was going to say, where's my other leaves at? They're hiding. All right. Okay, we got those. And we're going to start with our stem. put a little bit of glue on the back of that. You could have put these on your adhesive sheets first, but I didn't do it the simple way. Got to be more difficult. And we're going to attach that to the center of our white scallop. And then we're going to add our flower petals. A little bit of glue around the inside. And I'll put one here. And you kind of match up where that little thing is sticking up on this. That goes in the center of the flower petals. And put one over here. And then another one will go here. And I'm trying to figure out which way I want to put this. Maybe right there. And then next we're going to slip our leaves up underneath there. And the larger one will go over here. And I guess I only put two on there. I didn't use the third one. We might add him later. All right. And then I've got our banner that I cut out using this die right here, out of our scalloped blooms dies. And I'm going to heat emboss on that our sentiment, which says, I appreciate you. So I'm going to bring over my tools to do that with. I've got my Versamark, I've got my white embossing powder, I've got my Essentials tool kit, and our embossing buddy. I'm going to get rid of any static cling off of that cardstock. And Versamark ink. And we're going to stamp up our sentiment, I appreciate you. And I want to make sure I get enough on there. So, I appreciate you. Give that a moment to soak into our cardstock. And I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to hold that with, so I don't get my fingers where they don't need to be. Put that lid back on that Versamark ink. And give it a good coverage. Tap, tap, tap. Wipe off any I got where I don't want it to be. And I'm going to just set this aside. And we'll bring our heat tool over here. And we're going to let that heat up. Over there. Here we go. All right. Let's see if it's ready. Watch the magic begin. Heat embossing fascinates me. It never gets old. And put it on the back to straighten it back out. And that's done. Doesn't take very long. And little smudge there, but that's okay. And I'm going to grab a tissue, wipe off that powder. All right. And then we're going to place that up on dimensionals. And I'm going to put 3. I'll put 1 at each end and then 1 in the center. And I'm just going to go across the bottom of our card. Oops. Oh, a little hard there. All right, and then it's going to go across the bottom edge of our card. It says, I appreciate you. And next we have a bow somewhere. We didn't do a bow. I don't think I did. Well, we're going to do one on camera, see how that goes. I'm using the Fresh Freesia satin ribbon. And grab my bow jig here. And I'm going to make a double bow. So we're going to wrap that around twice. And need it a little bit bigger. So let's scooch this over to that hole there. And make us a double bow. And I think that's centered. It looks good. These backs, I don't lose them. Got our ribbon scissors over here and snip that off. And this is going to go at the bottom of our scallop. So I'm going to grab my mini glue dots. And I'd be glad when they put the glue dots back the way they were before. I don't like this new way. And attach that. So I can kind of froof our bow up a little bit. There we go. I think I'm going to put another one underneath there to hold it in place. It looks like it wants to lift on me. Tuck that one up underneath there. There we go. All right, but we're not finished yet. We're going to add some rhinestones to the centers of those flowers. Take your pick tool. Yes, disappeared on me. Where did it go? All right, I just had it. Oh, it's right there. Could have bit me. All right, so we're going to grab our small rhinestones, or these are the medium size. And we're going to place one in the center of each of those flowers. So give them a little press. All right, so there's the front of our card. I appreciate you. Let's work on the inside. We've got our basic white layer, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to add a little strip of designer series paper to the bottom of that, and that measures 1/2 inch by 4 inches. Well, it's a little extra. We're going to snip that off. And we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is sending love. And again, I'm going to use our basic black memento. Well, that looks crooked. That's not the right layer. Let's grab an insert here. go. 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Basic white. And sending love. Stamp that center, upper center. And I'm going to attach this to the bottom area. And I'm just putting it up a little bit from the bottom. And, well, I guess that was the right length. I thought it was bigger than what it was supposed to be. All right, now this is going to go on the inside of our card. All right, open card. Sending love. Okay, card number 3 finished. Move things out of the way here. I appreciate you. And sending love on the inside. Okay, so let me get our cards all out here. And we'll finish up for today. So I hope you enjoyed those cards today. Be sure you tell your friends about me and invite them to come watch my videos each week. And let me know which one's your favorite here. We've got You've Been on My Mind with the inside, keeping you in my thoughts, holding you in my heart, remembering you in my prayers. And then we have a fun fold here. Happy birthday to you. And today is your day. And then our last one, I appreciate you. Sending love. So tell me which one's your favorite. And be sure you come back next week again. I'll be back my regular time Thursday at 10 o'clock Central Time. So July 16th, 2026. Same time, same channels. And y'all have a good rest of your week. I hope you get some crafting time in for yourself this week. It's good for the soul and good for the mind and peace of mind. So until next week, bye-bye. Thanks for being here. And I want to thank you for the orders that you give me. And bye.